Today, the Supreme Court ruled to uphold the decision to ban TikTok, which, of course, to me, absolutely heartbreaking, breaks my heart. I hurt for all the creators who are losing their platform. But what does this mean? Well, it means January 19th, this Sunday, TikTok, as of right now, will go dark. And any company like the App Store, Android App Stores, Google, whatever, any company that does not obey this ruling will be charged up to $5,000 per user. So the app will go dark. TikTok confirmed that just before I started filming this video. Unfortunately, there is a possibility that when Trump is put in office, he could sign an executive order, delay it, whatnot. Regardless, TikTok, I don't personally think will ever be the same. I'm not saying this is goodbye forever. You never know. But as of right now, what we know, the app will go dark on the 19th. TikTok is unwilling to sell. The problem is, even if they do sell, the question is, will the app actually be the same? Because they're not going to sell the algorithm itself. So I just wanted to take the moment to say my goodbye to TikTok. TikTok is the reason why this page is possible, my Instagram is possible. So many amazing opportunities I got this year are possible because of TikTok. TikTok started for me, back in 2019, when a close childhood friend was like, hey, you should think about doing TikTok. And at the time, my biggest dream and my passion was I wanted to be an actor. At the time, I had filmed a small featured role in the movie 12 Mighty Orphans. I did another little small featured background role. I did a commercial or two. I had an agent. That's what I was passionate about. But somebody brought up TikTok, and I was like, this could actually help me because I did not want to move to LA. I wanted to try to see if I can make it and still be with my family in Texas. And I was like, well, this is a good opportunity to maybe make a name for myself, open the door without having to be there. And so while still going on a bunch of auditions, I downloaded TikTok. I created an account. Didn't really do much. And then I kind of started figuring out, it kind of started clicking when the world shut down. And I really had nothing to think about but social and what I was going to do. And so I started making content. It was just more lifestyle. It was kind of all over the place. It was not that great. The account does not exist anymore. I got up to 40,000 followers, though. That was pretty cool. But then I was like, I'm really passionate about card collecting and opening packs of basketball cards, football cards, Pokemon cards, you name it. I love doing it. I still love doing that. And I created a channel off that, and that did pretty well. But ultimately, the thing I was most passionate about was movies. And I guess at the time, I was afraid to talk about movies on the internet and give my opinions because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I didn't want to be blacklisted by a studio if I didn't like a movie. So it took me about 2 years to understand I can freely talk about my opinion and it's going to be okay. And so I started TikTok 2019, 2021, Big Screen Berkan was born. It actually started as everything on Disney Plus, and my whole thing was I was going to try to watch every movie that existed on Disney Plus. I did not make it very far. And then Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out, and I realized, this is what I'm most passionate about. This is what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about Spider-Man. I want to talk about the theories. I want to talk about when I think we'll get a new trailer, when tickets will release, what to do when tickets release, my thoughts, my reactions. 3 Spider-Man together, oh my gosh. And so that's what I really kind of hung and really held on to as hard and as long as I could. And I slowly over time started building up more and more courage to keep giving my opinions. And of course, I fell into the trap of I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to point up for 10 seconds and give the breaking news. I wasn't putting myself into it, and then I did that up until TikTok started doing creator funds for videos only a minute long. And I remember that few months was one of the hardest months of my life. I mean, from like March to October, I just kept failing. I kept failing and failing and failing, and nothing I was doing was working. And this was 2023, by the way. So I was doing the whole point and sit there in silence and react to things in like 10 seconds without really giving any value for a good year and a half, from November 2021 to May 2023. I was doing this. And again, when I got to that dark period from May 2023 to October, I really was questioning whether or not I wanted to be a content creator because I just kept failing. I was not doing anything. I wasn't truly creating. And then Spider-Man 2 came out. I did a bit where I stood there and I yelled at my wife about how she can't bother me when Spider-Man 2 comes out. That is my life. I choose the game over her in that moment. Like, that is very, very important. And then people really liked that video. And I was like, oh, okay, wait, maybe I have something here. And then I did it again. I did it for the Pixar timeline. But at the time, the video was too long. And I didn't know how to fix it because it was all vital information. And so I just kind of sped it up. And that became me yelling at my wife, the Pixar timeline, in this high pitched voice, sounding like Alvin from Alvin the Chipmunks or Fred, from YouTube. And that was massive. It had 15 million views on TikTok, 12 million views on Instagram, and I could not believe what I was seeing and feeling. And that was the first moment where I was like, is this what it is actually supposed to feel like to be a content creator? And from there, I just kept inserting my energy every single way I could. I was not afraid to be loud. I was not afraid to be obnoxious, to try new things, to be creative and try new formats, even when TikTok really discourages sometimes trying new things because they want you to be repetitive and do the same thing. I challenged that. And because I challenged that, I was able to grow on YouTube and I was able to grow on Instagram. And I still have a long way to go on Instagram and YouTube for 1,000% sure. But TikTok is where I was able to have a playground. And yes, it's no secret that that's where creators really found some financial security. I'm definitely going to miss that, of course. I still have a full-time job. I never stopped doing that. And I did content full-time. So I will be okay. You don't have to worry about me. I'd still appreciate it if you sub, though. You don't have to worry about me. But I really encourage you in the next 24 hours to go find the content creators that you fell in love with on TikTok that really their content got you through some hard times. And I really encourage you to go follow their pages because they probably really need you now. If their content got you through some hard times, they really need you right now. And your support, going to support them on other platforms, I think will mean the world. So please, please, please go do that if you haven't already. I really, really cannot express that enough. But again, if we're going back to my journey, TikTok is what gave me the opportunity to express myself in a way I never thought. Because yes, while I said in 2019 I wanted to be an actor and I thought this could be a gateway, I stopped believing I could be a YouTuber back in 2014, and I've forgotten how badly I wanted this back when I was growing up, and I was watching D23 every other summer on YouTube religiously. I was watching Disneyland, Disney World content creators. I was watching people at premieres talking about movies. I was trying to myself talk about Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014 when that first released. And I got scared and I never told anybody I ever did that. And because of TikTok, I got to be that person at D23 and I got to talk about it and people watched my videos about the conventions. I got to go to a Marvel premiere. My very first premiere was a Marvel premiere. I got to interview people I looked up to like Christian Chenoweth and Will Ferrell and Elijah Wood and so many amazing people. And I met other creators who also inspired me to become a content creator. I met them and they were amazing and now they're friends and really good friends. I can't express enough what TikTok did for me. And that's the story of the American dream that I think is going to get lost when TikTok goes dark. It is something so magical that I hurt for so many people who maybe were just experiencing it for the first time or were dreaming of experiencing it. We're grinding so hard. As a content creator, I get really upset when a video doesn't do well on TikTok. And to me, sometimes even when a video hits a million views, I'm like, this is awesome, but like it wears off. And then I see creators who I've been busting their butts for years, and they still get emotional when a video hits 10,000 views. And I think about how they truly just loved having a community. They'd never been in a room where they could stand there and talk to 100 people, 200 people at a time, and people engaged with them. I mean, how often have you ever been in that situation where you stood in front of a room and 500 people had your attention, much less 10,000, much less a million? The experience of going through that, putting something out there and getting some type of reception will never be like it was on TikTok. Never. Never in a million years. I mean, we can try to recreate it as much as we can, but what they're taking away from us is truly one of the most heartbreaking things I think I've seen in my life. And that may be quite a statement, but I mean, I've seen TikTok change people's lives. I've seen it give a glimmer of hope to small businesses. I've seen it do so many wonderful things. And I'm very heartbroken to see it go away. I just want to take a second, though, before I leave and say, before I end this video and say thank you to Allison, my wife, who from day one got to see me grow and obsessively post 5, sometimes up to 15 times a day, obsessively trying something new, obsessively trying to make something work, just trying to build this community that I never thought I'd have. Ultimately, I'll be okay because she will always be my community. Even if all of this is gone, she will be the person I could still share my passions with. So I'm lucky. Not everyone is so lucky. Thank you, TikTok, for everything you've done for me. I know this is just the beginning for us and this page and all my movie friends out there. I know we have something special, and I promise I'm going to keep working my butt off to make sure this something special is never wasted. And that your support for me is validated. And I truly appreciate everybody's messages the past couple days. I never thought I'd have that either. Thank you so much. Just know that I will always be the internet's movie friend. Your movie friend. This is day 32 of 100 straight days of posting brand new videos on YouTube. It may not have been a happy day, but it's all part of the journey.